Well, in the back of the car, I've got a swan that I rescued the other day, and when I picked it up, I discovered that it had a huge lump on the bottom of its foot. That's beyond Wildlife Aid's remit. We have to go to a vet. They have a lot of experience and knowledge. So we're going to take it over to Guy, and he's going to look at it, and hopefully he'll be able to operate. But it depends on whether the growth is a cyst, whether it's a tumour, whether it's cancerous. This is why we need his skill to get this swan back to the wild.
Guy Halpian's practice is deep in the heart of the stockbroker belt, and although he regularly helps us out with some of our more demanding medical cases, he's more used to seeing dogs and cats than the challenge we're presenting him with this morning.
One of your more unusual patients. Oh. Hey, Swan. Right, the problem is with him, he's got a big growth on the bottom of his foot, and it needs your expertise to find out whether we can do anything for him and help him, or whether we're on a bit of a hiding to nothing. It's obviously stopping him walking on the ground, and although they spend a lot of their time on the water, they need to go up onto the ground sometimes.
It's either a tumour, some form of neoplastic process, it might be even an old abscess.
Is it possible to tell from just feeling it whether it's likely to be cancerous or not?
I think we're not so much interested whether it's a cancer at that stage, because we are really doing it in order to improve his quality of life at the moment.
Sure.
And so it's all to do whether it's really causing enough discomfort to risk to remove it. So we just have to assess whether we have enough skin to put it back together after we remove the lump.
Right.
And I'm not very sure. And that's something that you can only assess when you actually remove it.
Sure.
And then you have to put the skin together, and it's just not an area that you can manipulate the skin very much. If you feel that this is a life that he can live, to spend most of his time in the water, I think there's no much point to go and remove it. If you feel that it's really crucial for him to come out more often, then I think we have to make an attempt to remove it.
I think though, you know, especially in the winter when he could be walking on ice and he's got to get up on the ground, or somebody's chasing him even, he needs to be able to move.
Then I think we better do something about it.
Having made the decision to operate, Guy begins by administering gas to anaesthetise the swan. But he has to proceed very carefully, because there's always a risk with birds that they'll respond badly to anaesthetic. With the swan sedated, he can now set about trying to remove the lump.
A moment of truth. Seeing the lump like that, you would have hoped you could just sort of open the skin and pop the lump out. But with this lump, it's so attached to everything. Guy's going to have an absolute nightmare to try to find out how he can separate it from the foot.
Guy has to carefully avoid cutting any critical blood vessels.
It feels so bony.
And after working painstakingly for an hour, he's able to separate the lump from the foot.
It's just like a piece of solid bone, isn't it? It's amazing.
Yeah.
But now comes the challenge that Guy is most worried about.
It's not over by a long way. Basically, the lump was so solid that Guy's had to take out much more than he'd hoped to. Whether there's enough skin left to effect repair on this is very, very difficult to determine at the moment.
The skin tend to have the ability to stretch with time, so we just hope that even if we put quite a lot of pressure and actually deforming a little bit, but I hope slowly it will stretch without putting pressure on the stitches, and then it will, you know, it will heal.
Sure.
But that's the only way we can close it. We don't have any place to steal any skin really from here.
Right.
Happily, there is just enough skin to close the wound, and we're all hoping that nature will now take its course and allow the foot to recover. But first, the swan faces a final life-threatening hurdle. Will she safely and fully come round from the anaesthetic?
Come on, Swan. It's really very tricky now because he's just got to come to, and it can take him some minutes, and they suddenly think they're not going to make it. It gets very, very nerve-wracking.
And although a little dazed, we're all relieved when her eyes open and she returns to consciousness.
I'm fed up.
We'll only really know whether the operation has been a success as the swan recovers over the next few days. I persuade one of the team to drive me back to the centre so that I can travel in the back of the car and keep a close eye on the swan.
There we are, my fella. All right. Yeah, come on. Come on, there's a good boy. Come on. Come on then, it's a good boy. Come on. There, look at that, look. Right, well, we've got a warm deer shed. We can monitor him on closed-circuit television so we don't have to keep interrupting him. And he's also got a big heat lamp above him to keep him warm, so we'll just keep him really cosy as if he's in a nest-type environment for now. And we'll just monitor him very closely for the next few hours. It just depends how well the foot heals, to be honest now. It's just a matter of really accurate nursing care, continual monitoring, and we'll just have to see whether the foot comes back. It might need some physiotherapy, which he actually gets when he's in the water. That might help as well, but I think the next 48 hours are pretty critical.
A few weeks ago, local vet Guy Halpian removed a golf ball-sized lump from the left foot of a rescued swan. Today, I want to see how well the foot's healed and how she copes when we put her back into the water for the first time since the operation.
Well, the top side looks absolutely fine. The leg's slightly warm, but not too bad. And on the underside, looking a bit crusted, but I think the water will clean it up, give her a bit of therapy, get that foot working, and hopefully she can go back to the wild. All right, there we are, my sweetheart. Look. Oh, what? Oh, how's that? Is that better, Swan? Aye. She's using it really well. Aye, how's that feel, sweetheart? Aye. She rescued her off the water. She wasn't able to come out of the water because there's a big growth under the foot, and she just couldn't get that down on the ground. So now she's able to use that foot. It needs to callus a little bit, it needs to get a bit of strength, but she's coming out the water, as she just proved then. It's really looking good. When Guy first did that op and the foot was all wrinkled up like that, I really was a bit doubtful, to be honest. And now the foot's right out, she's paddling it in the water beautifully. So to have got this far is really great. We've just got to go the next bit now and get her back out with her mate. But she's still not putting that left leg all the way down, as if she thinks the lump's still there. So she's walking with that as if she's got high-heeled shoes on. And the right leg seems a bit stiff, probably because she's been stuck in a pen for a week, so she hasn't had much use of her legs. But we need to keep a real close eye on that. Hopefully the physiotherapy work in the water will bring all her muscles back again. But it's still not surefire at the moment.
In the UK, we were about to put that to the test with our rescued swan. Her foot is now fully healed, and one of our former volunteers, George, has joined me to release her on a local lake where we think we found her the perfect partner.
Is it going to be love at first sight, or is it going to be, he's steaming across, isn't he?
Yeah.
Ooh, magnificent display. Oh, she's displaying up a bit now as well.
Okay.
Swans are monogamous and mate and pair up for life. But will our rescued swan take to this lone male suitor?
I think she wants to get out. Is he being a bit pushy?
Yeah, I think she's turning around, she's running for cover. It wasn't really love at first sight, was it?
Not really, no.
At first he's a bit too keen, and she's very wary. But then things start to look promising.
And they seem to have settled down actually incredibly quickly.
Yeah, I'd say there's some sort of
rapport. I think there's a rapport there,
I think
George.
there's definitely a rapport there.
And after a few minutes, she proudly follows her admirer onto the lake.
I've guided. I'll go first, you go second. Come on, missus.
It's warm enough. There we go.
That actually is a really beautiful ending, isn't it? That's really nice.
And just in case we were in any doubt about whether these two really will spend the rest of their lives together, our newly engaged couple make it very clear that in the world of swans at least, the age of romance is certainly no longer dead.
Oh wow, look at that.
There you go, look at that.
Fantastic.
That is so beautiful, isn't it? Look at that.
Yes.
It's magnificent, isn't that beautiful? You ever seen that before?
No. Brilliant.
Oh, babies. Sometimes wonder why I do Wildlife Aid. That's the reason.
That makes it all worthwhile. Sorted.
Sorted.
you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel by pressing the red button. And make sure you hit the bell to get notifications of our latest content. If you want to help us save wildlife, please donate. Every pound you give will help us to save more wildlife.